Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Media, where we break down everything that's going on in Hollywood, the entertainment world, and the media. What's up, Essence?
Just across the globe. Yes. How you doing, Nerdy?
I'm all right. You know you're going to have to carry this show because I'm a little bit under the weather. But as they say in punk-ass Hollywood, the show must go on.
One monkey don't stop no show. Yeah.
Be careful with that now. So anyway, we're going to get into some... we're going to talk about the American Sniper trial and a little bit about the movie, but the American Sniper trial. And then we're going to get into some Hollywood stuff and the Oscars. You know, everyone on YouTube and everywhere be breaking the Oscars down, so we got to give our last minute input.
Might as well. If everybody's going to tell what they think, you might as well listen to the people whose opinion counts, right?
That's right. And that's how I see it, too. So
this trial, the way it ought to be.
That's right. This trial, yesterday it ended, right, with a guilty verdict. Or was that Tuesday? Tuesday,
I believe.
Right. Now, this man, they call it the American Sniper trial, in which some of the people in the media trying to act like they shouldn't be calling it that because the guy who wrote the movie.
Or wrote the book that led to the movie.
Right.
The autobiography.
What was his name?
If you hadn't asked me, Chris Kyle.
Yeah. And Chris Kyle, right? And so he wrote the book that led to the movie, and he was one of the people who was killed. There was two people that was killed, right?
Right. Chris Kyle and another man, Littlefield.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, who was on trial?
On trial is Mr. Eddie Ralph. I don't know why I decided to call him Mr. Eddie Ralph. I think because
you're showing that respect.
Really respect. But it's amazing to me how the media he's gone from being Eddie Ralph to being Eddie Lee Ralph. Now that the guilty verdict came in, they added his middle name there, just made him like he's an assassin. You know how they do an assassin.
Oh, they gotta have three names.
Lee Harvey Oswald type thing going on. The media is bananas like that. But it's been a huge case. It's gotten worldwide attention, actually, probably because of the movie. But think about the whole post-traumatic stress disorder defense. You know, basically what happens here is Chris Kyle is working with veterans that are severely injured and having post-traumatic stress disorder, etc. And he's being kind of like a life coach for them and being their friend and trying to build relationships with them. But to do this, he takes them to a shooting range. Now, personally, I think that if it wasn't for the movie, everybody on earth could see that this is just a bad idea.
Going to a shooting range, huh?
I mean, would you take somebody who is literally going through having nightmares, paranoia, some delusions, not necessarily, you don't know what those delusions are. You don't know how severe they are, but they come from a place of violence, from being in war where people shoot people, and you take them to a shooting range and hand them a gun?
Now, did the people know this?
Of course.
I mean, did those guys know that he had those issues?
Yeah. That's why they were even working with him.
Now, I think we only found out about them issues because that's typical of when, a great person commit one of those heinous crimes and it becomes popular and hits the mainstream media. What do we always say? They're always going to throw that mental aspect in there.
But think of who the victims are. If his victims had been the black lady working at the VA, who's sitting behind the desk, at the reception desk, do you think he would have been found guilty of murder, or would he have been not guilty by reason of insanity? Because the question of whether he shot the man or not is not even an issue. Yeah, he says, yeah, I shot him. He said he took their souls before they could take his.
So he thought he was getting ready to die.
So, yeah. So my point is not that I think he should get off for killing people. Don't misunderstand that. If you commit a murder, I think anybody who commits a murder should go to jail for it. But my thing is, look at how Hollywood has been able to influence the justice system.
Of course. They've been doing that forever. Remember that? What was that movie with Samuel L. Jackson?
Which one? Pick one.
He been in thousands of them, huh?
I know.
The
That's
one,
a hard-working man.
yeah, he is. Or what? Do they work hard in Hollywood?
Well, he works often.
The one where his daughter got raped and those racists was on trial.
Yeah.
Right. And then, Perry Mason and whatever. I remember when, well, I'm just saying, I remember when the OJ trial was. Yeah. No, I wasn't around then. It was just the reruns came on later. But it amazes me how, like when you're watching Law and Order or CSI, anybody on trial, in the movies, someone always jumps up and says, I did it. Like the lawyer is so good, he'll be trapping them with words and they'll make it all dramatic or whatever. And it's, I did it. And then, in reality, a lot of people believe.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So when you see real trials on television, you see people like, I can't think of a name now, the curly head broad from OJ's trial. But Marsha Clark. And people are like, oh, she's so plain. Remember how people are like, she's so plain. They talk it's so dull the way they speak. Well, they're not actors.
Yes, they're real people.
They're real people.
But it go to show you how America, or just I don't want to just say America, just everyone in the world, there's a lot of people believe everything they see on TV.
And you got to realize how powerful entertainment is. We think, oh, well, people say it's just entertainment, but entertainment is powerful. It don't just keep you from being bored. It molds the way people think about so many different things. But let me hold some of that.
Don't hold it back now. See, yeah, the entertainment, I'm going to say this about it. Now, I knew every time one of these type of trials become big, that's how I see it. We knew we was gonna hear the word mental illness. We knew we was gonna hear that, and he may be. Of course, he was in war. That happens a lot, right? But they do that even when them little kids. He got bullied when he was little. Dehumanize them, right? And so we always talk about that, right? But what got me about this trial? It wasn't in the mainstream media until the last day, until the day the verdict was going on.
The judge himself forbid it. He said there wouldn't be any coverage of this trial until the verdict was in.
Exactly.
He wouldn't allow cameras in the courtroom.
Exactly.
So while you heard about it, you didn't see it. You see different stuff every day out of the Hernandez trial. You hear bits and pieces of testimony, and you couldn't see any of the testimony publicly until the verdict was in.
That's what I'm saying is, now the judge said this, but that's my whole point. Why don't judges say this when it's a popular black trial? Why they didn't say that in Zimmerman trial? Why? Because they didn't want that dramatic effect. They didn't want us sitting there looking at that white defendant who killed. And this trial should have been big because the movie is out. We didn't even know that it happened. That's my whole point. There was a lot of people who didn't even know this murder took place, but we've been hearing about this movie. Yeah, we've been hearing about this movie for the last 2 or 3 years, and no one, every time it was advertisement for the movie, no commercials ran, no news outlets even talk
that this is going on right now. You thought it was, even if you think that it was a real story, you thought it was something that was going on in the past, or it already happened. Like in the movie, it shows the American Chris Kyle, the one who got killed, or whatever that the story is about. And remember, they made this because he is in the history book as the deadliest marksman in the U.S. military with like 255 kills. And
so he's a murderer and he got killed. Live by the gun, die by the gun.
That's the thing. How you go to wars, you go through 4 tours, you kill 255 people, and you come back and you get killed trying to help somebody, or at least they say trying to help somebody. Again, I reinforce, that's a dumb way to help somebody at the shooting range. That's crazy. That's just stupid.
And when I start looking up media pictures, they always try to make them look like they insane. So when you see their pictures and stuff, you go, Like, look at that picture right there. You going, yeah, that motherfucker is insane.
I know, but at the trial, he's all clean shaven. And
Yeah, he
like
got his glasses on and stuff.
You know, and he looks for real. He looks like a real person, not just.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like, and so now you said the judge it said no cameras in the courtroom, right? Now this has happened before. Here's my whole point. Even when they do that, you still gonna see media people on the outside
talking about it,
and you're gonna see them cartoon. They drawing sketches of the people in the trial.
Right.
So we didn't even see that. We didn't even know this trial even existed
until it's over.
Exactly. We never seen any sketches or any pictures of the people outside of the courtroom. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I know it was a conspiracy.
The media picks and chooses. It picks and chooses because if you think about it, why isn't it a rule across the board that inside a courtroom shouldn't be public television? Why isn't it a rule across the board? If it affects how the jury is going to, if it can prejudice the jury or affect the outcome of a judicial case, that should just be standard court procedure.
Yeah,
I mean, that's my opinion on that.
Right. Should be. It should be. I think the states can.
It's a lot of flexibility in there.
Each state can set their own limits on that or whatever, like that.
I don't know. That sounds to me like deflating footballs.
And so they can pick and choose which trial they want to be big, because this should have been a big trial, man. The movie is breaking all kind of box records, like the biggest military.
$431 million.
Yes. And to humanize a murderer, because I don't want to speak disrespectful on the dead, but I know Essence, you speak, how you did that preacher who was shot for cheating. But my point of it is,
look, you don't get respect just because you did. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. See, my point is the dude killed a whole bunch of people, and he ended up dying by the gun.
But he's an American hero.
No, he's an American murderer. They try to humanize him. You seen the one clip? I wish I had that clip where they show him the little kid, and then he had to decide. See, in the movie, let me show y'all. Let me break it down for y'all, okay? So you guys can understand. Oh, you so condescending. Well, I'm just so you can see how we see stuff, right? In the movie, they show him. I got the little kid. Oh, he see the kid. He's sweating. They dramatize like he really don't want to kill the little kid in the movie. Oh, should I do it? Should I do it? They do all that, right? In reality, in real life, that motherfucker just picked that kid off. Bow. Shoot first, ask questions later. They don't worry about nothing. But in the movies, they try to humanize. That's the only reason why this movie. Exactly. And that's the only reason why it's entertainment for like people like you who got sense, but them same people who believe like that, like what?
Well, you got to put on that. Well, showing this internal strife that they
only do it when it's white people though.
Only there is no true. There may be. I don't know. I've never been in the military, so I can't say that they don't have some internal strife. But I can say that their job is to kill people.
I'm not saying
so
the people.
If you're hesitant,
right,
you're gonna get killed. So they can't have that.
Well, what I'm saying exactly. So what I'm saying is, yeah, in real life, I believe they might have it. In the movies, they always show it. Like I was watching The Wire, right? When a black killed another black, man, they showed him going to eat breakfast the next day. Just shoot him in the head, bow, like animals, right? They would kill people and just going about their business. Whenever a white person would kill someone, they made it so dramatic, like it was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. They even had him like,
or he had remorse the next day.
He had remorse the next day. He threw up right after it happened. They're always showing them throwing up right after it happened, like they're sick to their stomach that they actually did that. See, they humanizing white people who do wrong in TV, and it has a tremendous effect. That's how I see that. You know what I'm saying?
And there was a lot of criticism about the movie and the fact that in the process of humanizing the main character, the lead character, the white people, they dehumanized an entire nation of people. All the people that he murdered didn't matter because it was done in the service of the United States.
Well, that's what we do. We murder and we call it war.
Well, that's what it is. But all kinds of military people are gonna be mad at me for that. But that's just how I see it. So that's
worried
my
about
opinion.
them. They I mean, come on.
Are you scared? They got guns. No, anyway. Why'd you make me go there? But bringing it back is just
Right.
there are messages involved. I guess what gets me is the answer to those critics that both Clint Eastwood and Bradley Cooper gave was that they were trying to draw attention to how veterans come back from having fought in quotes and served their country, and then there's so little support for them, and they're expected to just, oh, okay, I go over here, I kill people, and I'm supposed to come back here and go to work at Office Depot or something, and that's what they were saying. That was their defense, and yet in the actuality of it, the lack of any type of support, the lack of thinking through how to help somebody who's going through these things caused this person to get killed. And yet we're going to just blame one person because we can't blame it. We can't blame the military. We can't blame the U.S. government. We can't blame George Bush and starting his fake war. We can't blame any of those things. We're going
they'll try to blame Obama.
Oh, they'll probably try to.
You know, the same people who watch this movie and think, oh, I'm American and we kill and murder. We have reasons to do it. How come, let me ask you this. How come they've never made a movie, a mainstream movie, about a black person coming back from military with all these problems and focus on? Because there's black people in military too that's done the same thing, you know, kill people but they don't want to humanize them, because that's all this movie was about. Was humanizing the American military. That's how you know what I'm saying? So, huh?
That's what it is.
Did you see it, or you didn't want to waste your money?
I'm gonna plead the fifth, as like the military people do.
Oh, you can plead the fifth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, what's up with your Oscars and all that good stuff in the Oscars?
Oh, there was so much going on. I have to start talking about the Oscars with talking about the fashion police. You know, the fashion police has been a staple at the Oscars for as long as I can remember. You know, your favorite comedian of all time started it, Joan Rivers.
I love me some Joan Rivers.
And you know,
she was funny.
Even after her passing, they didn't really give her props, because I honestly feel like they should have done some type of a dedication to her. But during the fashion police, one of the police, Juliana Rancid?
Yeah, that's that girl with that big forehead. See her right there?
Yeah, I don't know if her forehead is big, it's just the rest of her is so small.
She needs some weight. And I don't mean to talk about women, because either you're overweight or, be conscious of that, but sometimes if a person's head is bigger than their body, she look like she's getting ready to fall.
She just kind of had that bobblehead effect. I don't know if nobody's ever talked about if there's an eating disorder or anything, but I have a real issue with what she did, because
what she did.
When they're always critiquing the red carpet, the outfits coming on and off the red carpet, and when Zendaya Coleman was on there, she made the statement that she looks like she smells like patchouli oil and weed.
She said that.
There's nothing about this young lady that says weed. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and she's gorgeous in her red carpet presentation. Her hair, her body, everything. She's just beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. And that's exactly what she looked like. There's nothing that says weed here. And the issue.
And what was Juliana's problem?
Oh, she didn't like her hair.
You said that, Juliana? You didn't like her hair?
Her hair. And, I'm okay with her not liking her hair. Because I'm totally okay with her not liking her hair. It's fashion police. It's about their opinion on fashion. It's about their opinion on beauty. It's supposed to be that way. They're supposed to not like everybody, and that's okay. She can have her opinion. She can not like her hair. That's like we always, people joke about Nene Leakes' hair, talking about it look like ramen noodles and whatnot. So, and nobody gets upset because you agree with that opinion. But she said something, and her opinion didn't match.
It was stereotypical.
A lot of opinions. But she could have just said that she didn't like it. She could have said that.
Or something funny that just didn't involve stereotypes. There was a lot of more funnier things she could have. Joan Rivers would have said something and would have been funny.
She could have made jokes about vines or ropes or, you know, anything. I mean, she didn't have to like her hair is my point. I'm not saying that you have to have my opinion, but to equate black hair,
cornrows, dreadlocks with an illegal substance, with doing drugs, with being a junkie. Your people do drugs.
Really?
You know y'all do drugs.
Really?
According to media, y'all sell it too.
Oh, but you saw you saw the Wolf of Wall Street. How much drugs did he do that he wasn't wearing no dreadlocks?
He wasn't, huh?
And
he should have been.
If you think about the amount of money that drugs makes in this country and the amount of people who wear dreadlocks, if every last person who bought dreadlocks was doing drugs, it still wouldn't make the amount of money that it makes right now. If every last one of them was doing it.
So did she get in trouble?
Oh yeah, she's gotten kind of in trouble. She issued her little half-assed apology. She said that what was her apology? She said something about,
what was your apology, Miss Rancid?
She tweeted her apology. It was something like to the effect of, she apologizes if she offended somebody. She was referring to bohemian chicks or bohemian chic, and that
so she was just adding on to
race.
She was just adding on to the stereotypes.
I mean, you know, if you want to go bohemian, if you want to talk about bohemian, the epitome of bohemian style back in the day was like Lisa Bonet. Compare Lisa Bonet's dreadlocks with Zendaya's. Compare that. They had the same basic style, but Lisa Bonet's a little more unkept.
Well, Lisa Bonet looked like she's smoking some weed.
But I mean, it's a whole look.
But that girl, she looked elegant with hers because of the dress,
the earrings, the makeup, the actual hair itself is really smooth and manicured, and you can tell it's just freshly done. You have to realize when you're talking about dreadlocks that the culture of people who wear dreadlocks is not, I'm wearing this for your benefit. It's not, I want to look a certain way for you. It's, I'm so secure in myself, in my history, in my culture, in my spirituality, that I don't give a damn what you think. And that's bohemian, I guess, look that she's talking about. But Zendaya came out like royalty. She's very elegant, very chic, and even her answer to this slam, she could have tweeted back like my first emotion.
She does look elegant.
She looks very elegant. She looks very queenly.
Yes. I mean, she's a young lady, but she looks.
She's 18.
No, for a young lady, she looks very elegant.
She looks. That's
the only thing that should have been said.
And very mature.
They probably got mad because she put that nice dress on, and then she trying to say she ghettoed it up with them dreadlocks.
This is my thing. Oh, I have I have three real big issues with it. One, Juliana's catching.
You getting ready to cry or something?
No. I did get a little emotional there because it's a couple of little things going on in here. One, Juliana's taking the bulk of this. She's the one having to apologize. They're all, oh, well, Juliana said this. Juliana. But if you listen to the clip where she said it, she said patchouli oil naturally, and somebody else added to it. And the video is on Zendaya's picture. So you don't see who exactly said it, but others on the panel was co-signing, and there was laughter from everybody. So we shouldn't just be pointing this out like, oh, this is the mistake that this one person made. No, she made the mistake as a reflection of what her colleagues and people that she's around on a daily basis think, feel, and her opinion reflected that. And so she felt comfortable in saying it. So we do need to address the racism that's involved there, because these are not people who are going to walk out and say, oh, you're a black person and I hate you, I'm going to string you up. But these
that's what a lot of people who on the outside, they're looking at, why are they getting all uptight over that? It's true. But they don't understand that you might not be racist, but people who are racist, because like I said, I deal with it every day, they use stuff like that. They use stereotypes.
Well, the thing of it is, those are the most horrifying.
Do I look like a criminal? But I get treated like one.
But those are the harshest stereotypes, because one is directed toward our young people. And this is not a matter of, I don't like you and I'm going to come at you and physically attack you. I can see a physical attack coming. This is the kind of stuff that gets into people's subconscious and affects how they behave, how they act, what decisions that they make. That's why it's so nefarious. It's really just fucked upness at its purest.
Damn, you use a big ass word, huh?
Yeah, I like that word, fucked upness.
Oh, I was talking about nefarious.
It's all in what you want to focus on. Then the other thing that really gets to me about this story is that while Zendaya's response was spot on, it's great response. 18-year-old girl, she comes out and she says and names all these prominent people who wear dreadlocks. She shouldn't have to. She absolutely shouldn't have to, because anytime we don't have to come out and say, oh, wait a minute, I know some smart people who are blonde or who wear highlights in their hair. It's hair.
Well, that's what's going to happen. They're going to start the comedies, the white comedians. They're going to start doing little skits where they're going to take a white guy with ponytails and say he looked like he's smoking weed. You know, the show is just you know what I mean?
And then harm. And then no harm, no foul. But it is.
It is.
It is. It's a lot of harm. It's a lot of foul.
Yes.
And that's just bananas. And the other thing is, she came out perfectly. You have to remember that she's a singer, a dancer, and she's a Disney star. So she's been a child star. She's 18 years old, which means that all her fame has come in her childhood and teenage years, because she hadn't had no other years. So when child stars continue to grow up in the industry, they try to present themselves as adults at some points, right?
Yeah.
And most of the time when we see that happen, we see some crazy bullshit happen. You think about Justin Bieber's prime example, Hannah Montana. When Hannah Montana decided that I'm not Hannah Montana, I'm Miley Cyrus, I'm all grown up, how did she present herself?
How she presented herself, huh? I know. Like a damn fool.
Oh, that's grown up. That's elegant.
What about that?
Yeah. Oh, but nobody got anything to say about her hair. Now
here she is with a grown ass man.
With a grown ass married man.
Oh, I thought they criticized didn't he lose his wife because of this?
But they did criticize her. They did. Don't get me wrong. They did criticize Miley for this. But to do this in public, doesn't that indicate that you smoking something or you own something?
No, because they don't do drugs.
Oh no. Instead,
what
was that? How did they criticize her? They said she was acting black.
Ooh.
So Miley.
Well, that's what they do, because black is bad.
With Miley wearing a big old high Chuck E. Cheese outfit, and then turning over and grinding on a married man and sticking her tongue out and rolling her eyes up in her head like some type of strung out porn star. She's acting black. But Zendaya presents herself as a queen with long dreadlocks,
with a nice dress on,
with a beautiful dress, elegant pearls, perfectly manicured, and
something has to be said.
But she looked like she smelled like weed.
And you know what's funny? If both of them was walking down the street and and you asked the majority of people, like, which one was going to do some drugs or which one's going to do this, most of them would pick that woman in the dress.
That's how I see it.
Just because
They wouldn't even think twice about Miley.
just because she got a tin of color to her.
Something.
She from Oakland.
Yeah, hello.
Really?
You know they did drugs up there.
It's California.
It's legal.
They do drugs everywhere in California. But it has. That's horrible.
Yeah. So, but
One more thing. I just thought about it. This girl, 18 years old.
roll that head.
Excuse me. Now, I'm not defending Kanye, but everybody attacked Kanye as being just an asshole when he came at Taylor Swift.
And he is.
And he is. He is an asshole. A big, giant, shit-filled asshole. I get that. But Juliana comes at this teenager, and she just made a mistake.
She just made a mistake. You know they're gonna show her working with that black guy because she worked with that black guy on the other show. You know let's watch they draw off the playbook. But no one's saying she's a racist. I don't believe she's racist. They just don't understand.
But she suffers from the casual racism that just imbues American society.
Yes.
Because
stereotypes.
Stereotypes. Now, if anything, she should take a cue from the other actor, Benedict Cumberbatch. He was doing a interview, and he was saying how actors in America, black actors in America, have more opportunities to perform than in the UK, which may be true, even if they are being given stereotypical roles all the time. But he used the word colored.
Is he white?
Yeah.
Right.
And
he's from England.
And he's from England. So, it might just be in his vocabulary, okay. But the whole point is he was standing up for black actors when he said it. And he got some backlash, and he immediately apologized. And in his apology, he was like, I apologize if I offended anybody with my thoughtless words, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense, but this is an issue for blah, blah, blah. Juliana's apology was, I'm not racist. I meant this. That's so half-hearted. Just
say you're sorry.
Just say you fucked up.
If you offend people, it's like, if I say something, what gets me? Some people, when I was in college, right, I had 4 college roommates, all white. I was the only black person in the house. And, one was Jewish, one was Irish, 2 was Irish, and 1 was Italian. And then one dude
to tell about it.
Yeah. Then another guy came in. He was like German or whatever. But they used to joke about each other's ethnic background all the time. They would say Irish jokes, Jewish jokes, stereotypical stuff sometimes, whatever. When they get drunk or whatever. And I heard all those jokes. But you know what? I would never repeat those jokes. That's the difference. Like, there's a lot of people out there hearing jokes, black jokes. Like, one of them came up to me and said, look here, Si. I know this black joke, man. When we tell you this black joke, I was like, really? I tell you what, if it's funny, I'ma laugh. But if it's not funny, I'm gonna kick your ass.
And y'all may not know this because Nerdy over here sitting down, but this a big motherfucker. He is totally capable of kicking your ass.
No, I'm not big.
Just so you know.
You funny. So, but my point of it is I've never understood when you're in a position of power or you're on TV, how come you can't hold it? You understand what I mean? How come you don't know it's not okay to say certain things?
Because in their world it is okay.
Now, in Mel Gibson's case, he was drunk. But the truth comes out when you're drunk.
Again, in his world, it is okay.
What was Sean Penn's situation? Why did Sean Penn say what he said? He made a joke about immigration. You heard about that?
Oh yeah, he was presenting an award. Now the Oscars, the Academy Awards are scripted. Everything that the presenters are supposed to say, down to where they supposed to stand. All
he got a big ass nose. I never noticed that. I mean, I don't be looking at dude.
You only realize it now because he's older now and his skin sagging around and his nose.
Is that a stereotype? Well, I shouldn't say that, huh?
What's the
I
stereotype?
didn't say whatever. I don't even know his ethnic background.
What's the
He just got a
stereotype?
big ass
If you got a
nose.
big nose, you sucking up all the oxygen in the room or something? What's the stereotype?
He got a big ass. No, I never noticed that. But
No,
go ahead.
it's just the rest of his face is sagging around the nose, and the nose is the only thing.
Oh,
because
he's getting older.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
But no, he's presenting an award to, and
I guess from beating up Madonna all the time, it happens like that. But go
Maybe-
ahead.
maybe she got a good lick in, broke his nose, and it never healed back. Maybe
Never
she kicked
came back. That's what it is.
But he was presenting
She
an
couldn't
award
miss
to Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. I may be pronouncing his name wrong, so I'm just gonna stick with saying Alejandro. And for Best Director, he won Best Director for the movie Birdman. And he veered from his script and said, "Who gave this guy a green card?"
That's not funny.
You laughed.
He's from where?
Mexico. He's a Mexican American.
And he won an award and still got to put up with that shit.
Well,
Because see, they have the right to do whatever they want to do. Nobody, they don't have to. This ain't America. This is
well, you know,
white America.
It's interesting how the director dealt with it. Like he gave his regular award speech, and he kind of dealt with the little flippant remark by saying how immigrants built this great. He was accepting if all the immigrants built this great country.
Was he responding to Sean Penn?
Well, he said it as part of his acceptance speech. So it kind of sounds like he was, but then after he was, we joke with each other all the time, and you know.
Well, that's what I was just telling you about when I was in college. You do that amongst
yourself,
but once you get out there, and that's what I used to tell some of my roommates when they would make these stereotypical comments or whatever. Right? I would say I might not take it serious, but the next black motherfucker might knock your ass out.
Well, think about it. It reminded me of Gwyneth Paltrow, and you know I like Gwyneth Paltrow, and you know how she's good friends with so many famous people, especially like Beyonce and Jay-Z. And she she took that picture.
And she said, I'm in Paris with my niggas.
All right. Yeah, niggas in Paris. And it was a quote on the song or whatever. So, it has to be all right. That's some stuff that maybe she could say with them sitting around the house. But you put it on Instagram. You put it out there. Why they don't understand that? Why don't you understand that that's not okay?
Leave that shit at home. Okay. You're supposed to be in your garage, in your basement.
It's like
you don't have to come out the basement with your racism.
Stuff it's just I'm gonna be me wherever I am. Well, you know, it's like we have no levels of what decency is anymore. There used to be a time where you wore one thing at home and then you got dressed to go outside. Now, okay, granted, people tend to go outside and stuff it looks like they're about to go to sleep in, but it's not everything that's done within the confines of your house is not for the public.
It's not.
And now the media, even though they're talking about it, they still kind of downplay it as a joke. And this is the thing that got me. Even the media that didn't, quote, downplay it, you can tell that some high-powered person and editor got involved here because they were like, Sean Penn was seen and he refuses to address the issue. He refuses to comment on what he said.
Sean Penn is like Kanye. He's an asshole.
But in that same article, they just had to bring out that he was at a fundraiser in Haiti for the Haitian people. He
was probably there giving him something else. Trust him up, I guess.
But even in saying that, he won't talk about it, they upping him. He can't possibly be racist,
you have to understand
if he's over
this.
there helping Haitians. I mean, that's as ethnic as you get, right?
That's what the media does. They always defending this. That's why racism never gets worked out, because instead of getting to the core of it, they too insecure to really deal with it. So instead of dealing with it and getting to the core of it, it's easier for them to come up with all these justifications and rationalize the reasons why certain things happen instead of just getting to the core. See what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, he made a mistake. He shouldn't. All he had to do is say, you know what? That joke was in bad taste. I didn't mean no harm. It's simple as that. Instead of just trying to be all hard like you didn't do anything wrong. And he has issues with other races. I know. I've heard about him in Santa Monica when he used to live in Santa Monica. You little punk, Sean Penn.
Well, I mean, honestly, the man has an abusive past, like you mentioned about him beating up Madonna. Could you imagine Ike Turner, or for that matter, Chris Brown, being chosen to present Academy Award.
Well, see,
Amazing how forgiving
just like
we
they
can
didn't,
be.
yeah, just like they didn't talk about the sniper trial. They didn't ever talk about Sean Penn and Madonna having fights all the damn time.
I mean, that's just one of those crazy
now
things that happen.
what black people was? I seen what's his name, Common and
John Legend.
Yeah, John Legend. Did they win some stuff at the award?
They won the best original song for Glory that was done in Selma, and it was an incredibly powerful song. I mean,
so they got an Oscar for that.
Right. They got an Oscar
Now,
for it.
no disrespect, but them winning an Oscar, it's amazing how now, because you remember when what's that group from Memphis, Tennessee? They won an Oscar in that movie Pimpin'. What's that group called? From Tennessee. Anyway.
That's how you gonna do it.
Who?
I
Let me look that up.
I should know what it is.
And Project Pat and all them. But anyway, they won a Grammy at one time. And I was like, how are you going to win a Grammy? Okay, how are you going to win a Grammy? I mean, a Oscar. So that's what they're doing now. So they can't get a black people movie Oscar, so they can get the music Oscars.
That's why I was offended by it. It is a great song. I'm not taking away from the song. The song itself.
Who sings it?
Common and John Legend.
3 6 Mafia. That's the name of them. 3 6 Mafia.
Oh, okay. Common and John Legend, and then there's like a whole chorus of people behind them doing it, and they performed it. And the performance of it was incredibly powerful. It was kind of amazing to see all the white people in the audience who were actually moved to tears.
Oh, they
watching
really?
it. Like they got a standing ovation a couple of times, and actually, like you could see they were actually crying in the audience, and it is moving, it is stirring, it is emotional, and so I'm glad that they won, because I do believe they deserve it. My issue with it is the fact that the movie itself was snubbed. I mean, it was nominated for Best Picture, but not nominated for any of the acting categories, not nominated for any of the behind the scenes, the cinematography, any of that, not nominated for directing. So even the nomination doesn't make sense. How can you be considered in the running for the Best Picture of the year? Oh, but yeah, your acting was mediocre, your music's mediocre, your cinematography is mediocre, all these other things are mediocre, not even deserving of a nomination, but you can get nominated for Best Picture. That's an issue. Then, second, none of these other things that are involved in the movie matters. Oh, but this was such a nice song because you colored people really sing and dance so well.
Did you call them colored?
Yes, I did.
Are you going to apologize for that? Because like a lot of white people out there don't think we should be able to use.
I'm deeply sorry for my use of the English language.
N-words and all that. So if he can't say color, you can't say it either. So I think you should apologize.
I apologize for my use of.
But I understand what you're saying. It's just ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard, but John Legend's acceptance speech was actually, in a lot of ways, my first response was like, yeah, it's on point. He took that moment to point out some serious issues, that these issues are not something that just affected black people back in the 60s, but that they're still going through things. But then he threw out a number that kind of made me cringe. He said that there are 3 times more black people in prison today than there were slaves.
He said that at the Oscars. That lady said that years ago, and I dispute. We disputed that. Why are they still? That's just he add to the stereotypes and thinking they helping.
Yeah, he thought he was helping, but that, when you think about it, people are automatically going to think, okay, well, if you're in jail, it's because you did something to get there.
How many times you got to pull up those prison stats? They're not looking at the penal
systems.
It's only like 2 to 3% of all black people that's in prison. There's only 2 million prisoners and 1 million. Let me break it down for you. There's 2 million total prisoners, around that number, right? We're like 45%. Now, do we have a high racial number to our population number? Yes, we do. But in general, we about 45%. 40 to 45%.
Right.
So
That's how
if
I
it's
see
2 million, so that means we less than a million, about 800,000 or whatever, right? There's 30 million of us. That's not even 1%. So why do they even, when we were slaves, it was 100% of us that were slaves.
Well, 98.
Yeah. What I'm saying, right? And so he's probably saying, is he trying?
That's a heck of a point that you just brought out there, though.
Maybe he's trying to say, well, our population was only about 800,000 at the time, but I believe our population during slavery was around 3-4 million myself. So.
Well, they were only counting black people at 3/4 of a person, so we don't know what the population actually was because we have to go by what was written back then.
Hello?
And that's something
and
that
2/3 of a man.
And nobody ever takes that into account. Nobody ever considers that. But the fact that
that's these celebrities.
Even if you say that 3 times as many are in prison, you got to realize that it's about 10 to 12 times as many in college.
Yeah, but they won't bring up those stats. That's positive. College is positive, so they're not gonna bring that up.
And that's just a horrible. That's sad.
Yeah, that he would, but he repeated that, and there was a lady who wrote an article about that. And it's funny how these celebrities, they think they trying to be political and helpful, and they just add to it. John Legend, I'm not a big fan of you, and I know a lot of people are because you sing and all that. But I understand you want to help out, but stop doing stuff that adds to the. He just added to stereotypes, basically.
Yeah. I don't think he
didn't mean to, but he did it.
But he did it.
Just like Rancic didn't mean to say that about that girl.
But she did it.
Exactly.
And what's scary about both of those is that it's a reflection of where we are today.
Yes, it is. So, it is.
But the Oscars just seem to be just a stage for everybody. There was somebody talking about being bullied. There was somebody talking about women's rights. There were people talking about gay rights. So it's like all of this followed.
It's just one big political show.
Show. But Neil Patrick Harris, and nobody has said this, and it's caught my attention because I remember hearing it like, wow, he really just made that joke, but nobody is repeating it in after shows. But near the beginning of it, Neil Patrick Harris started out with jokes saying that, oh, we're here to celebrate Hollywood's best and brightest.
See, he was trying to stick up for black people because it was a joke, but
it's truth and humor.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of truth and humor. People hide the truth and humor, boy. He knew that was the truth.
So when you talk about Hollywood and they talk about diversity, man, just think about it. Just think about it. What really is diversity in Hollywood? We'll talk about it some more, coming up, especially with all these season endings on all these quote unquote diverse shows coming up. How to Get Away with Murder, Empire, Scandal, and Fresh Off the Boat. All these things people are saying, oh, 2015 is going to be House of Cards. All these things are coming out. So I'm sure they're going to give us unending things to talk about because the media, there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes.
Yes, it is. And until next week, peace.